Imagine a nation, vibrant and alive. Skyscrapers pierce the clouds, symbols of ambition and progress. The streets are a river of humanity, a symphony of commerce and culture. People are building lives, chasing dreams, and the future seems bright, limitless. In the markets, goods from every corner of the globe are piled high. The economy is a well-oiled machine, humming with productivity. It's a picture of success, a testament to what a country can achieve. Then, overnight, the world changes. The news breaks like a clap of thunder on a clear day. Sanctions. It starts subtly. A few imported items become harder to find. Prices for certain goods begin to creep up, just a little at first. People talk about it, but it feels distant, like a problem for politicians and economists, not for everyday life. But this is just the first tremor before the earthquake. The foundations of that prosperous nation are about to be shaken to their very core. The gears of that once unstoppable machine are beginning to grind, slowly, almost imperceptibly, towards a halt. The initial tremors soon become a full-blown earthquake. The sanctions aren't just headlines anymore. They're a tightening vice. International trade, once the lifeblood of the economy, is severed. Ships that once queued at the ports are now rerouted. Bank transactions are blocked. Foreign investments, which fueled the construction of those glittering skyscrapers, evaporate into thin air. Suddenly, the bustling factories fall silent. The hum of machinery is replaced by an eerie quiet. Gates are padlocked, and thousands of workers find themselves without a job, without a paycheck, without a future. These are the people who built the nation's prosperity, now left with uncertainty. We see the numbers on a graph, a steep, terrifying dive. The national currency, once a symbol of stability, begins a freefall. Its value plummets daily. What once bought a full grocery cart now barely covers a loaf of bread. Savings accumulated over a lifetime turned to dust. The vibrant markets, once overflowing with abundance, now have empty shelves. The scarcity isn't just about luxury items anymore. It's about essentials. Medicine becomes a precious commodity. Parents search desperately for baby formula. The lines for gasoline stretch for miles, a daily, frustrating ritual that consumes hours and fuels tempers. The pressure is no longer just economic. It's a deep, psychological weight on the entire population. The dream of a better life is fading, replaced by the grim reality of daily survival. Hope begins to curdle into despair, and despair starts to simmer into anger. The social fabric, stretched thin, is nearing its breaking point. When survival becomes a daily struggle, patience runs out. The simmering discontent explodes onto the streets. It starts with small gatherings, people holding signs, pleading for relief. But as the hardship deepens, the crowds swell. Frustration turns into fury. The protests are no longer peaceful pleas. They are raw, desperate cries for change. The streets that once celebrated progress now become battlegrounds of conflict. Chants for jobs and food echo through the city canyons, a stark contrast to the silence of the closed factories. The government, caught in the crossfire, struggles to respond. Promises are made, but they ring hollow when stomachs are empty. Security forces are deployed, trying to restore order, but their presence often just ignites more anger. The very institutions designed to protect and serve the people are now seen as instruments of an unbearable status quo. Trust erodes completely. This is the human cost of the crisis. It's not just about economic charts and political maneuvers. It's about the elderly person who can't get their heart medication. It's about the student whose university closes, their dreams put on indefinite hold. It's about the family torn apart by stress and uncertainty. It's the look of fear in a child's eyes who doesn't understand why there's no food on the table. The social fabric isn't just stretched anymore. It's tearing apart at the seams. Society becomes polarized, with neighbor turning against neighbor. As everyone scrambles for the dwindling resources, the nation is at a breaking point, teetering on the edge of a precipice. Now, we stand at a crossroads, looking at two possible futures for this nation. Two very different paths diverging from this moment of crisis. On one side, we see a vision of recovery. The sanctions are lifted, the world re-engages, the ports reopen, and ships once again bring in not just goods, but hope. Foreign capital flows back, breathing life into the dormant factories. The machinery whirs back to life, and people return to work. The currency stabilizes. The markets slowly begin to fill up again, and the long lines for basic necessities disappear. It's a slow and arduous process. The scars of the crisis remain, but there's a collective sense of rebuilding. People are working together, planting the seeds for a new era of prosperity, wiser and more resilient than before. The skyscrapers once again become symbols of hope, not just remnants of a lost golden age. But there is another path, a darker one. On this side, the sanctions remain. The isolation becomes permanent. The economy never recovers. It flatlines into a state of chronic deprivation. The silent factories rust and crumble, monuments to a forgotten time. The educated and the skilled, all those who can leave, flee the country in a massive brain drain, taking their knowledge and potential with them. The nation is left hollowed out, a shadow of its former self. Social unrest becomes a permanent feature of life. The country descends into a cycle of instability and poverty that could last for generations. The vibrant culture fades, replaced by a grim struggle for survival. It's a nation left in ruins, a cautionary tale of what can be lost when the world turns its back. The story of this nation isn't just a hypothetical. It's a reflection of real-world events that have played out time and again throughout history. The consequences of such profound economic pressure are devastating and long-lasting, shaping the destiny of millions. Understanding this process is crucial, not just for historians or economists, but for all of us as global citizens. It forces us to ask difficult questions about power, justice, and the human impact of political decisions. Thank you for watching. If you found this exploration insightful, please like, share, and subscribe for more deep dives into the forces that shape our world.